You're sitting with your family, maybe at dinner, so maybe during a gathering. Everyone's talking, laughing, sharing stories, and you're there too. But somehow, you're not. You feel like a stranger in a place that's supposed to feel like home. Like you don't belong, even though you should. And the worst part, you can't explain why. Because nothing is technically wrong. No one is hurting you. No one is rejecting you. So why does it feel so empty? Maybe it looks like this. You're sitting at the table, listening to conversations that don't quite reach you. They talk about things you don't care about, or things you were never included in. You try to join in, but your words feel out of place. So you stop trying, you nod, you smile, you play your role. The quiet one, the good one, the easy one. And somewhere between pretending and staying silent, you disappear. Not physically, emotionally. And no one seems to notice. Or maybe they never learned how to. Here's something most people don't realize. Feeling alone around your family usually doesn't start in adulthood. It starts much earlier, in small moments, repeated quietly over time, like when you tried to express something as a kid and it was dismissed. Don't be so sensitive. You're overreacting. It's not a big deal. So you learned something important, not consciously but deeply. Your feelings don't belong here. So you adapted. You became easier to handle. Less emotional, less expressive, less you. And that adaptation worked. It kept things peaceful. It kept you accepted. But it came with a cost. Because now, you don't just hide your feelings from them. You've started hiding them from yourself. Pause for a second. Think about this honestly. When was the last time you felt fully yourself around your family? Not polite, not filtered, not careful, just real. If that question feels uncomfortable, there's your answer. The truth is, you don't feel alone because you're physically alone. You feel alone because you're emotionally unseen. There's a difference, a big one. You can sit in a room full of people who've known you your entire life and still feel like no one actually knows you because they only know the version of you that you had to become to survive in that environment. And here's where it gets deeper. Sometimes, it's not even about what your family did wrong. It's about what they couldn't give. Maybe they never learned how to talk about emotions. Maybe vulnerability was never safe in that house. Maybe love was shown through responsibility, not connection. So they gave you what they knew. Food, shelter, advice, but not understanding, not emotional safety, not space to be fully seen. And now, you're left with this strange feeling. They love me, but they don't get me. That confusion can be painful because it makes you question yourself. Am I the problem? Why can't I just connect like everyone else? Why does this feel so hard for me? But what if it's not that something is wrong with you? What if you were just never in an environment that made it safe to be understood? Think about the way you act around them. You choose your words carefully. You avoid certain topics. You shrink parts of your personality. You become manageable. But connection doesn't happen when you're being manageable. It happens when you're being real. And if being real never felt safe, then of course you feel alone. Here's another moment to pause. Ask yourself this. What parts of me do I hide around my family? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your emotions, your struggles. Now imagine. What would it feel like if those parts were actually welcomed? Not judged, not dismissed, just accepted. That feeling you're imagining right now? That's what you've been missing. And here's the twist most people don't expect. Sometimes You're not just feeling disconnected from them, you're grieving the relationship you wish you had with them. The conversations that never happened, the understanding that never came, the version of you they never got to meet. It's a quiet kind of grief, one that doesn't look like loss, but feels like it. And yet, this doesn't mean you're broken. It means you're aware. You're someone who feels deeply, who craves real connection, who notices what's missing. And that awareness, even though it hurts, is also what gives you the ability to build something different. Because here's the truth. Just because your family couldn't fully see you doesn't mean you're unseeable. Just because they couldn't understand you doesn't mean you're unworthy of being understood. It just means you might have to find connection in places that meet you where you are. And slowly, learn to meet yourself there too. So the next time you're sitting with your family and that familiar emptiness shows up, don't rush to blame yourself. Don't force yourself to feel something that isn't there. Just notice it, acknowledge it, because that feeling, it's not weakness, it's information. It's showing you the gap between who you are and who you had to be. And maybe closing that gap doesn't start with them. Maybe it starts with you.